During this coronavirus outbreak, we know a lot of people have lost their jobs, and it is we're going to need every edge or every bit of help we can get to get ourselves back into the workforce if indeed we have been made redundant or been laid off because of COVID. Well, one expert says that you've got just 15 seconds to score an interview with your resume. Kim Seeling Smith is a future of work expert and the CEO of Ignite Global, and says during the COVID-19 pandemic, standing out has never been more important. Let's talk to Kim now. Kim, good to have you on the program.
Good morning, Stephen.
15 seconds. What, are employers too lazy or too busy to read a resume properly?
Too busy. Recruiters are definitely not lazy, nor are employers, but they are too busy, especially when they have so many applicants. There's an average of some recruiters are reporting up to 300 applicants per white collar opening, which is just insane. So, and this is not new. I was a recruiter back in 1994, and those stats were similar then.
The standard thinking seems to change a lot. Like when I was first entering the job market, there was this view that your resume had to be incredibly detailed and, be 4 or 5 pages long with a whole bunch of referees and the like attached. And I guess this is the pre-internet days, so everything was on paper.
Correct. Correct.
Nowadays, or then it shifted to, no, 1 page is plenty because no one's going to read more than that. And then we went back to longer again. What is the secret?
So the secret is, it's not necessarily length, although less is more, but the secret is to make yourself stand out. Now, the way that you do that is actually counterintuitive, because you can do really fancy things with graphics on resumes. Don't do that. Let the content speak for itself. Make it easy to read. Lots of dot points, lots of white space, and the most important thing, I cannot stress this enough, you should include very few duties and responsibilities and make it heavy on achievements that have measurable results that demonstrate how you've added value in the past, because that will help the employer understand how you can add value in the future.
Is that always easy to do, though? I mean, it's there are some, I guess, some types of experience which are, and without being blasé about it, might be, effectively boring because they are just run of the mill. How do you jazz up a fairly mundane job?
Yeah, you think it takes a while to write a resume. When I used to do job search and career coaching professionally, I no longer do that as a full-time day job, but when I used to do it, I used to encourage the people that I was working with to take a good half day out, clear their calendars, maybe a Saturday afternoon, go for a walk and start thinking. Start thinking about the jobs that you've had and the value that you really added. Now, if you're a barista, let's say, don't think, I made coffee for people. Think about how you changed people's days. And this is a little bit far-fetched, but not really too far-fetched. You really want to think about why what you did made somebody else's life better in a tangible way. And if you take some time to really ponder that, you'll come up with some things that you can add.
What about I, for the first time in over a decade, was forced into the job market fairly recently, and I'm on that social networking site LinkedIn, and it has a system where basically it will turn your profile into a resume, and that's what I use. Is that good enough or not?
It is, actually. The format that LinkedIn uses is very good. Now, is it, garbage in, garbage out? So you need to make sure that your LinkedIn profile has the information that LinkedIn can pull out and serve up in a way that stands out. So again, measurable results. Think about if you have up to 15 seconds to get your point across, you want the reader's eye to be drawn to specific things. So break the rules of grammar. Use numbers, actually like the number 3 instead of spelling out 3. Now the grammar aficionados would argue with me, but you want to do that in a resume because you want to keep that human eye on your resume for as long as they possibly can. So make sure that the LinkedIn profile is very robust, has those achievements. Talk about the value that you can add to them. You should not no longer put an objective on the resume. Quite frankly, employers at first pass, they don't care what you're looking for. They want to know what value you can add to them.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, because if you've only got 15 seconds, I was going to ask that, what's the first thing you say? Because I've never really understood the concept of an objective on a resume. Your objective is to get the job, I would have thought.
Right, exactly. And they're typically really poorly written. People get a little bit lazy about writing objectives, so they don't change them. So every single resume, now I'm going to contradict what I just said about LinkedIn. The LinkedIn resume format is good enough, but you optimally, you want to do your own resume because you want to target them, individual resumes for individual job search. And so many recruiters and so many employers are now using algorithms to sift out. The human eye doesn't even see the resume at first pass. So you want to include some keywords that are included in the job ad so that you've got an algorithm match.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I basically feed back to them what they're looking for, so you're speaking their language. Yeah, okay.
That's exactly right, Stephen.
Very good advice. Kim, good to speak to you this morning.
You too. Thank you.
Kim Seeling Smith, she's a future of work expert, CEO of Ignite Global. If you're job hunting, how hard has it been? Give us a call, 6255 1206. It's 6:45.